Happy holidays. Okay, don't think, Jacqueline, what are you talking about? It's still warm outside. I know, but guess what? We want to get you uber prepared for this holiday season because what we want is that you can get consistent sales, right? Have steady growth and keep growing your business beyond always having to offer a discount during the holiday season to drive sales. So, if you want to get prepared while it's still warm outside, you can jump in and grab 101 content ideas beyond the holiday discount. And it is a bundle of content prompts, tools, hashtags, and templates. And it includes a 3-month calendar with things to say every single day from October to December. It is so helpful. So go out, enjoy the sunshine, and feel uber prepared for the holiday season when you grab yours now. Just head to holidaycontentideas.com.
Welcome to the Product Boss Podcast, where we help product-based businesses grow their sales and improve their strategies.
Hey everyone, I want to introduce you to my co-host and biz bestie, Mina Kunlo-Sita, an Amazon guru that has built a multi-6-figure product-based business.
In introducing the other half of the Product Boss, Jacqueline Snyder. She has helped launch and grow over 500 fashion apparel and accessory brands, even one of her own.
And together, we share our inventory of secret weapons that will help you dig deep and do the work it takes.
Are you ready? Let's build together.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Product Boss Podcast. I'm your host, Jacqueline Snyder, with my profitable co-host, Mina Kunlo-Sita. Hey, Mina.
Hey, Jacqueline.
Profitable is the key word here.
Yeah. At first, it's so funny. I was like, profitable. It was like mulling around my brain for a second there.
You're like, what does that actually mean? That's what we're going to talk about in this episode.
Yeah. It's a big, amazing word, right? Profitable.
Yes. I think here's the thing, and this is why profit is going to matter more than anything right now. You may hear us talk about 2xing your revenue, 3xing, 4xing your revenue, like growth and scaling, right? But with the world as it stands, with things always going up and down, which is typical for entrepreneurship. Okay, this is not. It feels like a lot, but this is not like out of the norm. But profitability is going to matter more than anything right now when moving through, I would say, the next 6 months to a year, more than increasing your revenue. So we're going to jump right into why profit matters more than anything right now.
Yeah, the first one, I feel like this one is such a good one. And that is because increasing profit is sometimes easier than increasing revenue. So what is profit? Profit is revenue minus expenses equals profit. So when you're thinking about how do I increase the profit, okay, let me back up. When you're thinking about how to increase revenue, a lot of times it takes more, right? You're having to increase sales channels or increase production or whatever it ends up being. It feels bigger. It feels harder. It feels more overwhelming, right? I need a 2x. I need a 4x. I need to compare myself to all these other people. It feels like so much, right? Comparing yourself to yourself even, right? Like I feel like I'm not growing, whatever it is. But when you look at increasing profit, it's a look at the numbers. It's okay, I look at my revenue. How can I increase revenue? But also, how can I decrease expenses? So that means that you could go to your vendors and see if there's different price breaks. You could source other partners or something, other materials, other partners. You could think about other products potentially that might be a different variation or version of your best sellers. You could, lots of different things that increasing profit tends to be easier than increasing revenue in many situations.
Yeah. So what does that mean? I think another way of saying this is a lot of you feel like sales are coming to, like they're slowing down, or finding new customers organically feels hard, right? So how can you then, on the customers that you do get to transact and buy from you, how can you make that sale make you more profit? So what does that mean? Exactly what Mina said. If it costs you less to make that candle, to make that necklace, to make that stationery, and you sell it for the same price, then there's more money left over in your pocket. So I want you to think through, right? How could I increase my profits versus trying to increase my revenue all the time because things do break. Things do cost more money when you are scaling and increasing your revenue. Like you're going to need more products. You're going to need to buy more raw goods. You're going to potentially need to hire people. There for sure is profitability dips while you're scaling your business. And that's totally fine if that's where your business is at. But we want you to really think through, no matter where your business is, how do you increase that profit?
Yeah. So that one's really thinking about, okay, expansion through profit, right? So making it where you focus on profit and not on revenue. Okay. So that was the first one.
The next is going to blow their minds.
The next one is revenue is about doing more profitability. Well, no. I put the wrong emphasis on the more. Okay. Revenue is about doing more, but profitability is about doing more with less. Okay. So revenue is about doing more, 2xing, 4xing, doing more. I need to do more. Whereas profitability is really about doing less with what you have, essentially. It's kind of like a reframe of what we just said to you in a very mind-blowing way, I guess.
Yeah. Can you believe it? What we just told you is that it's not about you having to do more, make more. We had this conversation, I think, recently in the accelerator, one of our group coaching calls. And, someone was talking about needing to make more money and they were thinking about making more things. And I was like, can you focus more on, instead of making more and staying busy in the making? And I know you hear me out there if this is you, where you're like, it's easier for me to make sometimes. It's easier for me to produce. It's easier for me to create than it is for me to sell or to do some of the harder business things. So for you, we want you to be doing more with less. That's why we lean into bestsellers. If you were to scale a product, like if you were to say this product works really well, I'm going to go to candles because we love using candles as examples. So maybe you're making 20 jars at a time right now of all of your different candles. But what if you knew what your best size was, your best scent, your best jar, your best wick, and your best wax, and you were like, okay, I'm going to lean into some of my best sellers, and instead of buying only 20 at a time, I can buy 100, 150. That's when you start to get price breaks, right? And you can streamline your process more, and you could do a better production by doing more with less. I want to give another example. I was trying to find it, is Suzanne of Three Best Bakery. We use this example all the time. I think this is a great way to illustrate it. It's in this really new cool thing that we're bringing to all of you, which is actually pulled out of Multi-Stream Machine, re-recorded, with added on things like tools and calculators. Is we created the pricing your products for profit system. It's a brand new mini course. This is a really cool way to see some of what we teach inside of Multi-Stream Machine, but created in a super easy mini course to price your products for profit. So I'm going to pull that up while you keep talking.
Keyword profit. Because the thing is that when you're looking at increasing your revenue, it is about doing more, right? So let's say you know what your best sellers are. And a lot of times people are like, what more can I make? How can I expand? What more products can I add? Can I add this and this and this and this? And we always tell them to go deep and not wide. Right? So looking at profit is really about going deep. Okay. How can I do more with less? How can I, like Jacqueline said, streamline my time? How can I, really make myself efficient to really, really look at the profit? Because as we're going into a potentially down economy, we're all going to really have to think about micro goals and micro actions, right? I call it stacking your chips. So if it was me, I would be stacking a whole bunch of like mini goals of, okay, I'm going to do this to sell these things that I know for sure will sell. And it's like, this bit of profit here, this bit of profit, and stacking it. So then that way I can pivot very quickly as I'm moving forward in a potentially down economy versus, going into trying to really 2x or 4x. That just means reaching more people. Math, not drama, right? So math is you will convert a certain amount of people. But if you need a whole bunch of people, it's hard to get those people in this amount of time, So 2xing, 4xing, 10xing, 20xing, whatever it is, requires more leads. It's just the way of business, for anybody. But increasing your profit by 2x, 4x, 10x, whatever ends up being, is really about the details, about going into it and thinking, okay, could I somehow finesse these numbers in order, getting better costing, coming up with a product that's a variation, like I mentioned, whatever ends up being, you're really getting micro on the numbers that make up your profit.
So Mina and I were just talking about how some people in our community are having trouble figuring out how to price their products so they can actually make a profit. And if this is you, I want to tell you, you're not alone. So just imagine what it could be like if you were 100% confident in your pricing and you can sell your products on any platform without worrying about offering a discount, losing money, or burning out. That's why we're so excited to bring you the Pricing Your Products for Profit system. This is your key to pricing your products correctly for multiple platforms so that you can take what you do from an expensive hobby to a profitable business. So inside, we will walk you through step by step in the Pricing Your Products for Profit system workshop and the Pricing for Profit formula. You also get the pricing mindset training and the pricing questions bank to get all your burning questions answered. And right now, you can get the 2 workshops, this incredible system and formula for just $17. Yeah, I said just $17. So head to theproductboss.com/pricing to get instant access for the win.
Yeah. I mean, how many times have we heard people say, I want to grow my business, but I'm afraid to. And they're afraid to because they think that they're like, I can't possibly make more to sell more to hit the revenue goals that I have, right? No matter what those revenue goals are, whether it's 50,000, 100,000, 250,000, a million, 10 million, you throw the number out, everyone's going to come up against that sort of limiting belief of like, there's no way I can do that.
But even physical capacity, they can't do more usually too, physically.
And so the thing is we get stuck and we limit ourselves because we think that in order to have like a bigger business or to have more profit, we have to be doing more. But remember, profitability is doing more with less. So I want to give an example of Suzanne of 3 Best Bakery. We talk about her inside of this mini course. We're going to put the link in the show notes if you wanted to grab it and jump into Pricing Your Products for Profit system. But here's Suzanne. You may know her. She sells her bestsellers and other like sugar cookies, but she's known for her smash cookies. Now, before Suzanne started working with us, she went into multi-stream machine. She did this pricing for your product for profit system. She, back in 2019, made about $10,000 in sales. Okay, so $10,000 in sales. She's only made 414 sales at that point. So she got $10,000. Well, in 2020, she was able to jump her revenue from $10,000 in sales to $100,000. So that's 10x her business, or well, like 909% is what like her Shopify says. Now, that's amazing, right? She had to do 900%. She had 900% more sales, but she also had to make, so she made 414 sales in 2019. She had to make 3,804 sales in 2020 to hit $100,000, right? That's 9 times the effort to be able to yield basically 9 times the revenue. Now, she went into this pricing system. She understood about like her bestsellers. She understood about pricing her products for profit. And this is what she did. So remember, 2020, she hit her first $100,000. Well, after she started pricing her products for profit, she raised her prices. She priced them correctly. She looked into the profitability. Suzanne, remember, 2020, she sold 3,800 sales. 2021 was 4,800 sales. So she increased her sales only by 28%. Remember, it was 800% the year before. 28%, meaning she only had to make 1,000 extra sales, more or less. But she made $76,380 more. So she made $176,380 that year. So what does that mean? That means that she didn't have to make another 3,000, 4,000 sales to add on that amount of money to her business. She only had to make 1,000 more sales to almost double her revenue. And that's what pricing your products for profit means. It means she didn't have to make that many more cookies to get that amount of money because she was priced correctly.
Yeah. So it was doing more, but with less, right? So she understood her numbers. She really understood profit, and it made her a smart business owner because at the end of the day, she can make as many cookies as she wants to make. But is she busy? or is she profitable, right? Busy and overwhelmed or profitable? Probably both some of the time, you know?
But doing more with less means that she was able to sell more of her bestseller. She was able to make more of the same type of cookie, right? She was able to scale those cookies and it was less effort on her part.
Yeah.
Less effort, less products, less all the things. And she was able to make more revenue without having to double down on everything.
Yep. Love it.
So the last thing here about why profit matters more than anything right now, and one of the tips we want to give you is profit makes a sustainable small business. It's what makes it a business, right?
Yeah, for sure. I think that when you are constantly chasing revenue, you always feel like there's more that that needs to be had. But if you are looking at profit and you are a business owner that's probably doing a lot of things, then profit makes it feel like, ooh, I really love what I'm doing because I'm profitable and I can make really good decisions on that. So like at the end of the day, we don't want you to feel busy and overwhelmed. We want you to feel profitable and feel like, ooh, I'm on my pace and I'm still profitable, right? So when you're chasing revenue, it's kind of like a false goal in some ways because, if you're 2xing, 4xing, 10xing, what if your expenses are super high, right? So if you're making $1 million, let's say you hit $1 million, if your 999,000 goes out the door, then you are left with not a lot in your pocket. That's why profit is considered the bottom line.
We're not going to do that math for them though, because that would be complicated.
Right. So, most of it is going out the door. So the bottom line is called the bottom line used in, phrasing and in actual terminology it's the bottom line because it's the bottom line of your income statement. So your profit is what you're left with at the end of the day. And if you're left with nothing, then it's just not sustainable. You as a small business owner will burn out and it will feel like, what have I been doing this entire time? That's what it feels like.
I think the thing about being a profitable business, right? Like having profit left over is times are going to be hard. Like we're not hustle culture, but we're also not hustle. So we know that there is a time to hustle. When you're growing your business, when you're starting out in those first few years, like you are hustling, you're testing and trying a lot of things.
We're definitely hard work culture.
Ooh, we work hard. We know that it takes work. We're not sort of like, I'm going to sit back and hope, I'm not going to like pray to the gods that this works.
Yeah.
While praying
it's a
might
bit
help
of hard work and hope.
Yes. So, and there's a time that you get to take your foot off the gas pedal and let someone else take over driving. The only way you can do that, the only way you can hire help, right? The only way you can outsource something, make things feel easier is with profit, because that profit left over is what's going to be able to pay. You might have to raise your expenses, but it's going to be able to pay for help. The second thing is that it's just a really expensive hobby that's killing you softly and slowly if you're selling a ton, like Mina said. Let's say you've got $1 million in revenue and you're selling and selling and selling. Like, I've got $1 million business. Actually, I've got this example.
I sold 1 million cookies.
I used to say this when I first brought on my first business coach, which was the first time that I joined a mastermind. She was like, what's your revenue? I was like, oh, it's $500,000. Okay, great. Let's look at your P&Ls. What? Like I had never looked at my profit and loss statements. All right, let's break it down. Let's go through each thing. Okay. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm a $500,000 company, but what's left over? I was going into debt. I didn't have money left over. I was going into debt to pay myself. And we started looking at the numbers. And when do you hate your business the most? When you're going into debt, when you're not getting paid, when you're working all sorts of hours and it feels like it's not working.
Yeah. And so with the cookie example too, it's like, how can you make $1 million? Well, you can make 1 million cookies, or you can make 500,000 cookies and raise the prices and hire.
Let's say 250,000 cookies. Let's even slash you.
I know. I feel like that was a lot of cookies. But then you hire somebody else with the profit that you're making. You're buying back your time, and that's what makes it feel like you're getting room in the margins because you're living your life, right? And you're getting to spend time with your kids. The whole reason why you started the business, the whole reason why you started baking, probably all those cookies.
I've got another example, like Rain of Dallas Caramel Co. She's in our mastermind with us. Amazing. I think she's also in Multi-Stream Machine as a student.
And she sells caramels that don't stick to your teeth.
And they're so good. And
Amazing.
If you ever want to break a diet, get her.
Well,
her
she had
Oreo.
the Oreo. Yeah, she had there was such delicious ones.
They're Oreos dipped in caramel, covered in chocolate. Holy sorry, guacamole. Head to Dallas Caramel Co. and Three Best Bakery. Just go buy all the sweets because we're telling you to. But same with her, right? She had a huge business. She has a huge business. Huge. But guess what? Rain was basically sleeping.
She feels overwhelmed by it.
Yeah. She was sleeping at the kitchen at the cook where she would cook. She was cooking. Let's just say she had $1 million in caramel sold. That's not her number, but I'm just going to say $1 million in caramel. She was literally cooking $1 million worth of caramel night and day. There was no way, no matter how profitable, no matter how much revenue your business is driving, if you have to sleep at the kitchen and you're crying and you're upset about it. I'm not saying this is her specifically, but I'm just telling you, speaking from my own experience. Used to say, it's not the sweet life. And then you look at it and the people around you want to fix it, right? Your spouse might be like, well, maybe you should stop doing this. Or they try and give you advice because they just want to fix it and make it better for you. Well, what if instead of making all of that caramel, you raise your prices, right? You make maybe less. You raise your prices or you become more profitable and that profit gets to pay.
You dig in your numbers and you know what will make you more and more profit too.
Right. And then all of a sudden, because we worked on that with her within the mastermind, like what does she do with the excess caramel? How to get better yields, all this, which is like becoming the boss of your business and that kind of high level strategic thinking. I'm really proud of Rain and I'm going to shout her out here is that she hired a night cook because they make enough caramel that there has to be cooking during the day and the night. Again, go buy it and the Oreos and then DM us on Instagram and tell us how delicious they are. And we are sorry ahead of time for the addiction you may develop here. But
it won't ruin your teeth because they don't stick to your teeth. So you're welcome.
Approved. I'm not a dentist, but I'm telling you they approve it. But anyways, so that's the idea here, right? So how do you grow a sustainable small business? You are the reason it will be sustained or not sustained. If you burn out, if you're done, if you don't have the support around you, if people are telling you left and right, this is not sustainable, and then you start to believe them, that's how the business stops growing and will crumble and make you feel miserable. The profit is what's going to make your business sustainable. Because let me tell you, when
profit
you are
is what you're
home,
going to love in your business.
Yeah. It starts to feel easier. You start to bring money home and get to live a better life, right? You start to bring money home and you get to hire for small things. You start to bring money home and you get to hire for bigger things. You start to bring money home and you get to go on vacation while people are cooking your caramel or baking your cookies for you. That's when it feels sustainable. And that's what we want to get you all to. Yeah,
for sure.
So if you want to be a profitable business, if you're a multi-stream machine, you have had a taste of our pricing your products for profit system, right? What we teach in there, we are also teaching you inside of the pricing your products for profit system. If you're not in there, if you want to learn more, if you want access to these incredible calculators that we've created, cost sheets, your average order value, knowing what your free shipping threshold should be, working on mindset and limiting beliefs. We have so much in here for an incredible, incredible low price. Just click on the link in the show notes and you can take a look at everything that we're offering. And we want to help make you a profitable product-based business.
Yeah, let's talk profit. So head into the link that's in the show notes. We can't wait to see you over there.
Thank you for being here and listening all the way through the Product Boss podcast. If you love our show and it has helped you in any way in your business, would you mind doing 2 things for us? Subscribe to the show so you never miss an episode and leave us a review. Reviews help other product entrepreneurs know that this is the place to be to grow their businesses and realize that they're not alone. And we know that you all know that a 5-star and honest review helps you sell more products to more people. So you know that your reviews help us reach more listeners around the world. Remember, what we give is what we receive, and we are all about helping each other in the Product Boss community. We are all in this together. We would be so appreciative of you if you could take the time right now to subscribe, leave a review, And even share this episode on social or someone you know so we can impact more lives. And remember, subscribing means that you will get notified each time we release a new episode so you never miss a thing. You have helped us grow and climb into the top 10 of all marketing podcasts, and together we can keep climbing. Thank you, friends. And remember, there is room at the top for all of us. This episode is brought to you by the Shop 1 in 5 Pledge and Small Business Shopping Directory. It's a commitment to make 1 in 5 of your purchases from a small business online or offline. So head to shop1in5.com to take the pledge. And friend, while you are there, check out and shop from hundreds of small businesses in the Small Business Shopping Directory. It's the go-to directory to discover, support, and shop small businesses all in one place. Head to shop1in5.com.